Welcome to the best start guide. Guys, it's day 20. I'm just going to dive right in. This has been an exhausting run. If you were watching yesterday's episode, you would see that I pulled a lot of shards towards the goal, but didn't quite make it. We got 5 more ancients. We still have a bunch of mystery shards. I meant to get to more of them yesterday, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it because I was too busy scrambling to find money in my couch. I mean, proverbially, the proverbial searching for money in my couch. I would love to be able to get this 5-star attack percent chest, and I can't even afford it because this is what my silver situation is. I mean, look at that. I can't, I can't do anything anymore with it. This is this is a state that my account was frequently in way back in the early days. I'd forgotten how much it sucked to be an early new game player and be going after a specific goal. I'm just going to hit arena because I don't like seeing that we're not recharging tokens, and we did see that we've started the the classic arena takedown. I've put apothecary into my team, into my main arena team. I'm going to showcase apothecary in a bunch of places today. This is the positive news. I got apothecary yesterday, and I'm really excited about him. I put him in relentless gear. My best and fastest relentless gear is on apothecary, and it's nuts how good he is. So basically, we got 2 speed controllers in the party now and 2 nukers. And this is the balancing that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to leave this on auto and see if the AI is smart enough to figure out that you got to target Kale. Take out that Kale. Good work, guys. But apothecary in relentless, oh my goodness, so good. I'm basically going to look at the team powers here. This is not a universal thing, but if I see a power like 4,200, I think that's probably close to what I've got. We got 45,000. 45,000. He's got 42,000 as the power. They've got a reviver in the team. So sometimes it can pay to single out the reviver. Sometimes it's better to single out, say, Kale. They've got Rathalos. He may hit super hard and he may not. I am not doing particularly well with Rathalos right now. I just got him. He's maybe level 9. I don't have the resources to build him. I don't have the resources. So let's take a look at how's the energy situation. That's also full. So let's quickly go to the Fire Knight. I'm still basically running Fire Knight 6, but I've put Apothecary into the Fire Knight team. So Apothecary has a triple hitter on his A1. One of many reasons I love Apothecary. Who's he replacing? I guess he's replacing Athel. So Athel was maybe overkill. That's why I was okay taking her out. Honestly, I probably could have brought in Athel instead of Rock Smasher, Rock Monster. Man, why am I blanking on his name? But anyway, we have a single hit from here. We have his hit, and then we have the triple hitter to break the shield. After that, we have the heal block. Rocktooth, that's his name. And I mean, it's pretty much a short shot to kill him. Kale is pretty much one-shotting him now. Let's just run this again, because I'm pretty proud of this team. We've got Skink in the lead, and Skink is increasing the attack of everybody because they're all magic champions. And this is a Spirit Affinity dungeon. So because of that, everybody gets weak hit all the time. When my team receives hit, everybody's getting weak hit. But they have an extra 15% chance to critically hit the enemy, which is important. Because Kale, with the gear he's got right now, I think I have 67% crit rate on him. That was the best I could do with really decent scoring gear. So here, if we go back to let's go to the team setup. Kale, these are his stats. He's got the 67% crit rate. But basically, with his Acid Rain, because it gets an extra 15% as is, and because he gets an extra 15% because of the affinity bonus, this is actually a 97%, which is very close to perfect. It's good enough for me. Having 159 crit damage is amazing. It's just amazing to have a number that's higher. I'd love to push this to something like 200. I'd love to push his speed to something like 200, but this is day 20. So we're getting the best gear that we can. He's in life steal as well. So it's hard to complain. He solos extremely well with the gear that he's in. So here's Apothecary. I got him to 184 speed. Getting Apothecary's crit rate up would also be good because his heal is actually based off of his crit rate. So if he gets a critical heal, you just boom, you get the extra. And I think the critical heal is based off the crit damage number, so you can get a monstrously big heal off that. We of course have Diablos. She's now 220. She's the fastest person on my account. I'm pretty proud of this. So this means if we go into the arena with this 220 speed, we have a very good chance of going first. Like practically nobody's going to be faster. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this team with its power of 69 and there's what? There's a reviver in here. Well, we could try. Well, why the heck not? But basically with Sun Wukong's extra 28% speed aura, plus the 220 speed we've already got off her, plus we're then just pressing straight into the second speed controller, who is not ascended. So in fact, technically, he's not a speed controller yet. I need to ascend him. I didn't have the potions. I didn't have the silver. This is what I'm talking about. I can't even do basic stuff because I'm so devoid of silver. But it does mean that at least they get to go first almost all the time. Let's try to take out the healer next. Pinthroy is such a good champion. But of course he's a Lego. We're never going to see him on this account. Can we take out Artak? Yes, we can. I'm actually really impressed that team got through those. I was worried that they'd be too tanky. Anyway, let's do an overview now. I want to look at the tournaments because we still haven't finished with Fire Knight, although I have the fragments from Fire Knight now. Basically, here, let's click on it because it may be slow. But on the mini account, I've got 60 fragments, and this is damn near wiped me out. I still have to do champion training. This, I think champion training ends today. We'll check in a minute. I want the gems because I mentioned this the other day, or yesterday. It was yesterday. It feels like longer. I want to at least get one more run to get the gems. We could do that now, in fact, because I just want to get to 900. This way we'll get that sheet of 11 ancient shards. That'd bring us up to 16, giving us a much better chance of getting all of the remaining points we need to complete the champion chase tournament. And this is really the do or die portion of it. I also asked yesterday about going after Jamarsa, who would be cool to have on this account, but given how limited we are on resources, I don't even know if I'd have the resources to build her. So we need 890 points to reach these 10 fragments. And I'm using the word need here. We need it. We cannot afford to miss them because we skipped the first summon rush, which means we have to do everything else. And that has been very, very hard. Some of the other content creators that I work with have been pestering me to do a collab, and I feel like that's going to be a lot of what I have to say. Is the silver. I'm so low on silver. It's rough. Being out of energy doesn't bother me as much because you regenerate it constantly, and honestly, I don't want to be playing constantly. I want to basically just get in, deplete my resources, and get out and wait for them to regenerate. But silver doesn't regenerate. Silver, you got to be really careful about how you go about getting it. So let's go to the dungeon. I may just do one more run ever. We'll do a double run because I'm too lazy to uncheck the box, and this is going to be one extra piece of gear. And anyway, at level 6, it's likely enough that we're going to pop out shards instead of an artifact. Although I did get lucky and pull an ancient shard while dungeon running. I do not mind seeing ancient shards. When you're in the dungeons, that's always a good thing. Ancient shards are maybe the worst type of shard that's like the good shards. They're still great. They're still good to receive. You still want lots of them. It looks like we didn't actually manage to one-shot him this time. But anyway, we're very close. The heal block prevents him from doing any healing, so we're absolutely fine. So the 8 points left that we got, that should get us the gems we need. That gets us a little bit closer to that sheet of ancient shards we need. So maybe I'll pull those today. Or maybe I'll hold off until tomorrow. I don't know. I took a look at the referral program as well. It still says that's another funny kind of visual bug. But anyway, we got it. We got the gems. We are off by 18. So by tomorrow, we'll have 10 more from the mine. I think we get another 10 from here. Yeah, so we got it. We basically will have it by tomorrow. Oh, and this resets today too. So I can just grab this, reset this. Won't do it just yet because we have a lot of other stuff to cover. So that's for the mini. Champion training. I want to double check this. I think this expires today, come to think of it. And it's an event. It's not in this tab. So the champion training event, oh, it's tomorrow. Whew. Okay, I can relax a little. So we have until tomorrow to complete it. Let's just show the progress then. I think we've actually been making we've been making great progress, come to think of it. Hey, look, another ancient shard. Cool. So yeah, we are off by, I guess, 850 points. So really, that should be no problem. I'm nowhere near ready to make my next 6, but I could probably make a bunch of food 5s. So here's poor Rathalos. Rathalos is just, he's not getting much love. I put him in a mixed set. I wanted his damage to be as good as possible, but like he's not even surviving when I put him on Clan Boss right now. Maybe it would have been smarter to put him in Lifesteal. Although I don't even have a complete set of Lifesteal to give him. So maybe that was part of the decision yesterday. I don't know. I was tired. I was scrambling to just get extra points. I was rolling up 8s, 8s, 8s. I had almost nothing to do. Frequently when I'm coming in and looking for stuff to upgrade, I'll go with rank rarity and I'll start with 6s on like equipped champions as well, and just see what have I got, what of my best gear on the account. Where is it at? How high have I rolled it? So all my best speed gear went on to Diabolist, and then basically the second fastest stuff went on to Apothecary. But here's Diabolist. She was in all speed gear, but then I got 2 really good pieces of perception gear. Okay, 1 really good piece and 1 fairly good piece. We'll go that way. But I found basically with this chest piece, I think my next fastest thing was actually it's probably on Apothecary, come to think of it. There you are, buddy. No, it's not. I don't know where it is now. Okay, let's see if I can find it. So it would have been it would have been a chest piece. It would have been in speed. And if we just go with prioritize stats, I like to just do this by rote. Prioritize by stats so that I know the fastest stuff is on this side and the slowest stuff is on this side. So 4 compared to the 16. So sometimes it pays to have all speed sets, but sometimes you'll just have another thing that's got an even faster bonus. And I get a set bonus for these 2. So that's why I decided to put on some perception. Plus, it actually pays to have a little bit of accuracy on Diabolist because she does decrease the turn meter of enemies, and that requires accuracy. The support stuff, where you're increasing your turn meter, you don't need accuracy. But if you want to start damaging the enemy turn meter, you need accuracy. 80, is that enough for arena? Probably for early game. For early game, I mean, like bronze and maybe silver, maybe 80's enough. And again, maybe it doesn't matter because she's also doing the turn meter fill. So she's 220 speed with Sun Wukong. That's more like 250 with Sun Wukong's aura. So I'm running a team that can run at about 250 speed in the early game. This is day 20, and I'm running like 250 speed. That is nuts. And then we got Apothecary and Relentless. I don't know if we saw any Relentless procs today while he was running, but basically in longer, more drawn out fights, you'll start to really feel this, especially if I book him. That's something I also want to do. I can probably stand to wait until the next clan versus clan, which is going to be personal rewards anyway, to go to the tavern and upgrade his skills. But the rare books, this is the next thing I want to do with them, and this is why I've been holding off on them. This is why when I'm looking for War Maiden, oh, I got an extra War Maiden. But this is why I'm farming spare War Maidens so that I have enough books. We've even got, let's see, can we do it? RNGesus, if you're still with us, RNGesus, please give me this last thing. That'll give us a 100% Crumbling Blast War Maiden. That's what we want. Please, RNGesus, give us what we want. This also will cost silver. That's yet another thing. Oh my goodness, we got it. We got it. So War Maiden can now be our main. She can now be our main debuffer. She's 100% debuffer. This is awesome. This is great. The other consideration was Rathalos. I would still like to build him at the very least for Clan Boss because he's got the HP burn percent. He does have the decreased defense, although so does Rathalos. So Rathalos might be enough. Between the two of them, they'll definitely be enough. But for epic books, I just don't know if I could go straight for Gorlos, or if we acquire Jamarsa, I might actually want to book Jamarsa. And here's another consideration: we got Talia the other day. She's not terrible, right? But she does have a weaken that she can place on the entire enemy party, along with a counterattack on herself, which is cool. Like she has a lot of things that work for her kit. She'd be better if we had Fenax. And honestly, just between the two of them, I wish we'd pulled Fenax instead of her. But you know, we got her. And then there's also Hoskarol. We also pulled this guy, and this guy might take the books because he's got the increased defense. It's over here. We can reduce the cooldowns to a 4-turn cooldown, which I don't love. I wish, like Plarium, if you're watching, give Hoskarol a mini buff. Bring this down to a 3-turn cooldown. You know, this should start at a 5. Bring it down to a 3 because this is only 2 turns. I feel like he needs to be a little bit better. Maybe they justify it by saying, well, he's also got the increased resistance. Like, oh, okay. But the increased defense is the really key one. We want that increased defense. He's defense-based, too. Like, his attacks are based off defense. So making a whole defense-based team around Hoskarol would be amazing. So he's probably going to be paired with where's my shield guard? I guess we don't see everybody on this menu because he's maxed out, but here we go. Shield guard's also defense based, so I'll probably pair him with Hoskarol. They're in the same faction too. So now the next day that Barbarian Factions comes around, which is not today, but the next time Barbarian Factions come around, we got some decent stuff now because we got a fully maxed out shield guard. We have Hoskarol, and we have War Maiden now with her complete Crumbling Blast. So that's 3 really powerful champions in the faction. If we went ahead and got Jamarsa, that would be 4. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that done today. There's a lot of hoops that I need to jump through to be able to make Jamarsa work. But let's have another look at Jamarsa. You know, there's so many red dots on this account too. on various champions because I can't be bothered to click through just to say, okay, I know that this is a new one, I know that this is a new one. But Jamarsa, if we got her, we'd have almost a complete faction. We have our healer reviver. We have our crowd controller. We have our debuffer, and we have someone else, our nuker, I guess, and just general support. And we could even just build up like Zephyr Sniper would be a perfect fifth. You could even have her be a kind of auxiliary crowd controller because she hits all enemies on her A1. She doesn't hit particularly hard. It's not like she hits as hard as, say, Shield Guard, but she has a chance of increasing the cooldowns. She's got a little bit of healing on here, so she'd basically be like an auxiliary bunch of stuff, right? So she's got the increasing cooldown stuff. She's got the healing. We then have our shield guard. It'd be a pretty balanced party, really. That'd be the way I'd want to do it. We also have Shill of the Drakes on month 6, but that's 6 months away. I guess it's closer to 5 months now. 5 months and 10 days away. Oh, and I'm being kind of silly. I know who the fifth is going to be. It's going to be High Katoon. Like, I'm not going to have time to build out 5 champions before we get High Katoon. And High Katoon is fantastic. She's basically the apothecary of the barbarians. So, never mind what I said about Zephyr Sniper. Like, if you don't have Shield Guard and you do have Zephyr Sniper, or you don't have War Maiden or whatever, um, or maybe you don't have Hoskarol, because he was very random. In fact, that might be one way I'd do it is say, you know what? Let's do it without Hoskarol, because a lot of other new players aren't going to happen to pull Hoskarol, but you can farm War Maiden. At the same time you're farming War Maiden, you will probably max Shield Guard. Zephyr Sniper, you got to get a bit luckier. You don't randomly pull her from the thing. And everybody can get Jamarsa. I'll talk about that tomorrow in tomorrow's video if I went ahead and did it. For now, is there anything else I need to cover? We can go to the clan boss section, which is over here. And we've already done our clan boss fights. I do have one key left, so I could try to boost something. Wow, there's No Luck Cookie getting 16 million. Stank Dempsey, it's straight up 25 million. Nice work, guys. Seriously, nice work. So I'm already one keying easy, and at this point, I can one key normal, but I didn't get it yesterday. If I was a little patient and I waited for it to switch to Spirit, I would have got it, but you never know what it's going to switch to. Like at the end of the day, and I think it's 100% just random. Back in the early days, I remember talking with some other players, and we were under the impression that it was the champion that does the damage that brings him beyond 50 is what determines it. But what if that champion is void, right? So this is actually something I still don't know. So if anybody out there watching actually knows that there's something that influences the way he switches, because it's very frequent that he turns to Spirit. I mean, look at this: Spirit, Spirit, Spirit. Not that I'm complaining, right? Because Spirit is the best affinity for me. Towards the end game, in fact, that's when it starts to hurt. Where's my account? So here we go. I got 3.02 million. That puts us in warrior chest territory. I could absolutely push for a yeah, why not? Let's push for the top chest, because we could get a knight chest instead of a warrior chest. That's a little bit better. Whereas here, the 5.7, I don't really think that's going to get us any better. That could be a knight chest. This could be a knight chest. Let's go ahead and do it. And you'll see what I'm talking about with the, oh no, you won't. It's instant. It's an instant complete. But vast majority of, wow, 4.3 million damage coming from Kale. Kale is the guy that does the damage. And to be fair, Skink is part of that. Because Skink is actually boosting all the magic damage. And really, that's just Kale at this point. So we will get a better chest at the reset, which is in 21 minutes. I don't know if we're still going to be here. Oh, we're only 25 minutes into the video. So we can just hang out. We'll just you and me, guys. Let's just hang out and play Raid Shadow Legends together. It'd be cool, you know? So Doom Tower, I got to stage 7 just on auto. I think this stage, it has a lot of ally attackers. And I think that's what was killing us. Like I'll hit run. Maybe a solution to make it through all of the waves is to not have Kale in the lead. I like having Kale in the lead because he's really the only one that's got an aura that does something. I could put the Blade Master in here if his gear gets a little bit better, or if his level gets a little bit better. I can probably afford to level him at this point. I was just being super cautious with the silver yesterday, because I wanted to make sure I completed Artifact Enhancement 2. Because it was seriously... here, who do we target? Let's target him. Just make sure we take down the ally attackers before they take us down. Maybe I need more crowd control in here. I mean, Hoskarol could do that. See, look at that. Look at that chunk out of him. And here comes another ally attack. He's dead. And this is what happens every single time. So I could put somebody else in the lead. I could put Hoskarol in here because he's fantastic crowd control. I don't even think my Hoskarol has gear. We're not gonna make it. As good as these other three are, they're not gonna make it without Kale. I forget if I even put gear on Hoskarol though. I think I did. I think I put a provoke set on him, in fact. So Hoskarol, where are you, buddy? He doesn't have a lot of levels. And it's not like he's particularly fast either. I mean, look at these total stats. 114 speed. So he's going to be going at 1-to-1 with the enemy, which is not ideal. That's not where you want to be. Really, even when you just start this game, I'd say you want to try to crank up your speed to maybe 150 so that you're getting 3 turns for every 2 that your enemy monsters get. But eventually, you want to just crank them right up to 200 plus speed. But right now, and this is a very early account, it's not feasible to get that everywhere, but I'm happy to have about 3 champions that do it. So we got Diabolist, Apothecary, and Kale in conjunction with Sun Wukong. And Sun Wukong is one of those champions I'm happy enough to leave him slow, particularly when he's got his passive activated, which we finally got. We got the 3 stars of Ascension, which was super duper expensive because he's a legendary. I don't know when I'm going to find the time or the resources to get Rathalos his stuff. But basically, there's no point in pairing him with an HP burner if I can't use this yet. Maybe we just go to the tavern. Just I'm feeling a little impatient. Here, get some brews into him. Maybe get him up to level... There we go, level 23. 23 seems like the magic number. It's a little tougher, hits a little harder. We're going to give the same treatment to Hoskarol. Maybe get him to level 20 something. 25, that looks right. So we'll get him to level 25. Do we have the resources to ascend him as well? The answer to that is maybe. What do we get for ascending him? Immune to stun. Increases the damage inflicted by allies when attacking enemies under stun. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's essential right now. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the Doom Tower. I'm going to attempt this once more. Maybe I'll even make a preset. Let's make a preset. We want Kale for sure. Do we also want Skink? Just to increase the damage? Hard to say, just because it's not like I'm going to be using a lot of... You know what? I am going to use Kale. Just because he makes the champions tougher. And again, here's the problem we were running into, right? They kept targeting the leader. Why don't I just put somebody in the lead that I don't care if I lose them? So we can make you the lead. Then maybe we could make it Hoskarol. Maybe he's tough enough to actually survive. He's going to be doing increased defense to the party too. We may as well bring him because he's probably one of our hardest hitting guys. I'm going to put Kale last, actually. Put Apothecary and then Kale. Maybe this is going to be the key. I don't know if this is my best team, but we'll call this DT Prime. And I won't bother with any move presets yet. But it's sometimes you get to a point where you're never quite at the right stage of cooldowns when you get to the next wave. And that's when you might say, open with your best move. Kale can like open with his AoE. Hoskarol opens with the increased defense. Oh man, we're doing even worse this time. I guess because we don't have Sun Wukong. Oh, maybe we should bring him. Because honestly, Sun Wukong is huge. Maybe Sun Wukong should be in the lead, come to think of it. Because if they're just going to target the first guy and they take out Sun Wukong, he's just going to pop back up. The other idea is we also bring a Reviver. DJAMARSA being an example of obviously a really good Reviver. I would love to get DJAMARSA in here. So here, we could do this one last time before I'm going to give up on this section. I like Hoskarol just for the support he can bring. But I like all of them. Here, let's get rid of Skink. And we'll bring in Sun Wukong. This is it. This is my idea of how we brute force through 7. I mean, shy of doing this manually. And I could try to do it manually and just manually take out the Lanicuses first, just so we don't get completely slammed by those ally attacks. But look at this. We managed to stun both of the champions that could be involved in ally attacks, so they couldn't do it. Now, often at a certain point it pays to A1 cycle, but I can't actually switch to manual. It's on auto climb right now, so they're just gonna do whatever moves they're gonna do. Didn't affect the preset. Hoskarol, do you have your stuns? If you do, it'd be nice to use them now. I think it's gonna be too late. Anyway, let's scroll on up. So anyway, this is where we're at. Actually, here's a question. Does anyone actually feel like starting over and being a referral account for this account? Because I could put this link in the description, and this would be a way you could start over. You'd be helping me out. I don't expect anyone to seriously do this, but it's here. This is the link. But I'm going to scroll on up to the beginning of the best start guide. I do apologize for the state of my notes. I had so much to do yesterday that I did not have time to organize my notes. This promo code, for example, we used it. We used it yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. But if we go up, we got the dailies and we got the clan boss. That's more or less covered. right? We've got this that we can claim. Um, at this point, I want to switch gear and do Spider. We could keep hitting Fire Knight. Come to think of it, we could keep hitting Fire Knight until we meet the final milestone, which is this chicken. Because a 4-star chicken does save us a bit of time on training. A 4-star chicken is still maybe only about, what, a 25th of what we need? Because I think you need about 25 4-star chickens to level into 5 5-star chickens. So you can finally make that 6. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to do another 300 runs, 300 points worth of runs, or if I want to just switch straight into, say, campaign farming. I mean, campaign farming's helpful, but at this point, we don't have to go after War Maiden anymore. It would be nice to get the cooldowns and all that, but it's not essential. She now has a 100% chance of doing her Crumbling Blast. I don't care about these other 2 moves. Her gear is kind of lackluster at this point. Like, I'd love to crank up her speed to the point where she'd be, I don't know, faster than 152. Because you do want her going ahead of Kale. And I don't really want to slow down Kale, but I suppose I could maybe slow down him a little bit. Although it's also a question of what boots would I be switching to. Like, let's say, we could even do a little thought experiment here. Let's say I want to go for attack percent boots. So where do we have those? We have Savage. If I'm prepared to switch out of Lifesteal, which at present I'm kind of not. So that does mean we could go for Cruel. So we could try on these. They're not rolled up or anything, but you can see we're already getting a little more attack. And if I wanted to lower my speed anyway, it's not really a big deal that we're losing it because it is kind of the direction we wanted to go, but we do want to make sure our crit rate doesn't dip too much below. I mean, really, I want to reach 85, right? So now the other pieces do have to be lifesteal. We could try for, I mean, what else would we want? Possibly crit damage, but these are worse. These are only 4-star. These are 6-star. So these would be well worth maxing out. The problem is there's no crit rate or crit damage on them, but at least I like the main stat. There's also no speed. If it rolled a ton of accuracy, that would be great, right? We could also go for accuracy or perception if we could find it. There's also speed, but again, the name of the game, Gavin, is to lower that speed, not raise it. So we could also look at chest pieces now. He's got the only one from Lifesteal. There's really nothing. So then we probably want, I gotta unclick this. We probably want crit damage gauntlets. So we could get one from Lifesteal. We have the only cruel one. We could also try from Perception, but again, we'd be taking it away from War Maiden, so that's awkward. So I think maybe he's already got the best gauntlets he could possibly have. I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like. So basically, we'd be looking to replace the shield. That's the other idea. So we can look at shields. And we would want either Cruel. No, but we don't want Cruel. It's got to be Lifesteal. So what do we got from Lifesteal shields? We got this, which has a much worse crit rate. Yeah, I mean, this would probably be the best we could do. We'd be dipping down to 55% crit rate. We'd be lowering his speed to 144 as well. his damage would be significantly higher once we roll this up, right? We can roll this all the way up to attack 60%. So he'd have bigger damage numbers for sure. It probably would be worthwhile doing. In fact, this is probably what I'm going to do when it comes time. It isn't time. Right now, I basically want to save every last piece of silver for when we're hitting Artifact Enhancement 3 at the end of this. That is going to be a hard time. But we're going to be doing Dungeon Divers 3 whilst doing... In fact, that's the one that's open right now, isn't it? So we're going to be doing Dungeon Divers 3. We're going to be doing... I guess we're finished Fire Knight, but we are going to get the Spider tournament. And Spider is the best for silver. So, I'm not going to put this in my notes or anything. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I should, just in case. We'll say Kale's Kale's boots. Kale's cruel boots. There we go. So we'll remember to look for Kale's cruel boots. That way we can lower his speed, increase his damage, and we'd then be speed boosting into War Maiden, who would have a 100% chance of doing her decreased defense. We can try to crank, we could even just start by building War Maiden and seeing if we could just crank up her speed. Like we've got a four-star speed boot set. This gets up to, I believe, 35. So there's another 21 speed that we don't have yet. We can also try to push campaign. Maybe that's not a bad use of our resources, come to think of it. We could just try to push campaign. We're at Nightmare. No, we're not. We have not yet completed Brutal. But we could force our way through Brutal. And it can kind of pay to search Palace of Arabia, stage 6-6. Because we can go after 6-star speed boots and maybe at least get some 5s. Even if we get 5s, they're probably good enough. You're getting good speed from there. We'd also be hunting for her. Because honestly, Eris is... Come to think of it, I think, did we get an Eris? Forgive me for my brain fart here. I'm just going to go to Index High Elves. Yeah, we actually randomly pulled one from the shards yesterday. I vaguely recall that. It was the same sheet that we got our Apothecary. I was just way more excited about Apothecary, but here's the thing about Eris. She is a clan boss queen. She is still on my main clan boss team. Not the one on this account or on this clan, because I have 3 that I'm running, right? But if we look at the clan boss teams, let's see if there's any. There's probably nobody, come to think of it. I'd have to be on my main account to showcase this. Because this is my top team here. It uses a very special comp. But basically, I'm running a Myth Eris comp. And you know Eris is essential to it because it has Eris in the title. But basically, you need her because she doesn't increase speed, and combined with Demitha, or really anybody that can do this boost. So early game, let's say you're not going for an unkillable comp, you just kind of want to keep the increased speed up the whole time. If you have a fully booked Eris, she is increasing speed the whole time, plus she's removing debuffs. So even when the clan boss stuns you, you're removing it. Just spontaneously removing it because you have Eris's Cleanse. And you could combine her, say, with... We go to campaign. You could combine her with Valerie, who has the buff extension somewhere. Whereas it, yeah, increases the duration of all buffs, and it's a 3-turn cooldown. And 3-turn cooldowns, and I was saying this about Hoskarol. That's why I kind of wish Hoskarol had his increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown. Because if you look at, say, there's a barbarian that does it. If you look at Marked, who looks a lot like War Maiden, right? Marked has the increased defense plus block debuffs, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown if you book her. So here's a question, Plarium, and it's not like I'm suggesting that you nerf Marked. It's just give a little bit of a buff. I mean, he's even in the same faction. Give just a little bit of a buff to Hoscarol. Just turn this to a 3-turn cooldown. Because, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Like, he's bringing 2 buffs. Marked is bringing 2 buffs. She's a rare. Why is the rare better than the epic? It's just this little tweak. This is the little tweak I want. Also, this increased defense in faction crypts. I mean, it's a really good aura, but faction crypts, man, could we just have the defense aura everywhere? You could lower it to maybe 25 and make it work everywhere. Kind of like Tyrell. This dude, I love this dude. If we happen to pull this guy at any point, we're definitely building him. So he's got a 25% defense aura that works everywhere. I love everything about this dude. We're not going to talk too much about this guy, though, because we don't have him. It's not on this account. It's not like you're super likely to pull him. I think there was a starting code that allowed you to start with Tyrell for a while. Way back in the day. I don't know if that code still exists. But I still maintain Sun Wukong is absolutely the one you want. So let's see. Clan boss. We got just a little bit of time left. And the reset doesn't always happen right away, right? Sometimes the game makes you wait. I mean, we covered a lot today. I wanted to look at the faction wars, but I went ahead and just obliterated this yesterday because I needed the extra silver. I needed the resources. Here's part of how I found extra silver. I came to the forge. In case anybody doesn't know this, there's money in the forge. Like I have almost nothing left that I can build. But basically, you can take like the lowest level of perception, for instance, and build 10 of them for 10,000 and instantly sell those 10 for about 120,000. So the more of that you get, and this underscores the extreme importance of farming faction wars as much as possible because you're going to get stuff for the forge. That is maybe the only way I even got the silver that I needed. Look at my silver, 4,000 silver. I feel like the free silver that we get on a given day, like this is 12,000 here. We're gonna, yeah, 42,000 silver, and we're down at 4,000. Oh my God, it makes my brain hurt. It gives me a headache, guys. So how are you guys doing? The newer players that are just slogging along. Let's grab this now. It'll probably be energy. Oh, it's 10,000 silver. We just tripled our silver by taking the login bonus or the sign-in bonus. What do we call this? The check-in bonus? We'll call it a check-in bonus. Um, Man, it is rough, guys. So let's see. Clan boss, it might just sit at 0 for a while. So here's one thing we can look at together then. Particularly because we're trying to prepare for a spider. Does that drop tomorrow? I have the schedule on my phone. This is the limitation of these notes. I didn't add any dates to anything. I basically just put this in to make sure I know. Champion training event. This expires next. But we do have roughly 48 hours to do it. I'm out of silver, but basically I can just campaign farm like the bejesus. In fact, campaign farming is probably what I should do with most of the energy, especially since I don't even know if Spider Tournament starts until the day after tomorrow. Which means we come back to campaign, and I'd like to be making experience. I mean, this is the one good thing about being a really early game account. Fire Knight, normally it's impossible to do Fire Knight with food just because you need a complete team. But look at the levels. I've been leveling while doing Fire Knight, so it was efficient. I'm leveling Kale still, technically. This guy stopped leveling a while ago, but these guys are still leveling. I could switch him out for another food champ. Like I could switch him out for Rathalos, for example. He increases damage by 30 in dungeons. And it's not magic specific. Whoops. It's funny that I missed that point. And we could just be passively leveling him. And he'd be better at it, honestly. Like he was the only member of the team. Skink was the only member of the team that really didn't do anything other than bringing his aura. And now we got 30% in dungeons. This is a dungeon. I'd like to pretend that I planned this, guys, and that I'm like, this is how you do it. So I don't know if you guys are still doing Fire Knight, um, and you happen to be using a paradigm similar to mine, then don't make that mistake. Do this. We got the extra, we got the extra damage there. I don't know if I want to run it though, because we may want to use all our extra energy for other things. So we need Spider. No. Ooh. Magic. Did I need magic potions for something? I think I did. Yes. Apothecary. I want to ascend Apothecary. I'm just out of potions. It's probably worth it to just get a couple to level up Apothecary. Let's do that. Clan bosses, still at 0. Okay, game. Okay. So while this is open, what level do we want to hit? Let's just hit level 7. It's been a while since I even upgraded the team. Let's put in these guys. Why not? So we do get to use Rathalos. He's bringing that increased attack. Let's run this once. Let's see if we get the potions we want. I have not run potion dungeons since 6-starring Kale, so this should be a treat. Honestly, we could probably push the potion dungeons, but again, I want to be careful because we do have the final Dungeon Divers event open. So basically, as much as possible, you want to be doing campaign farming and dungeon runs. And by dungeon runs, I mean not this dungeon. I mean the artifact dungeons. So Dragon, Fire Knight, Spider, and Ice Golem. And particularly Fire Knight right now, right? But Spider's coming up. Spider might be the hardest one for this account. With Spider, easy mode is if you can get an AoE of HP burns. And then the second easy mode is if you can get enemy max HP damage champions, because then you can just really blast through Spider early. And I was trying to avoid getting to max energy, and now we're at it. So congratulations, Gavin. You did the thing that you wanted to not do. Let's try to push stage 8. Why not? We're at an abundance of energy now. I should have seen that coming too. I knew that the number was pretty high. So, how are we doing for the checklist? So our next 6-star, I'm going to review this because here's Mr. Burrito Slayer's suggestion. He actually suggests going for Sun Wukong because you're probably not going to have the resources to really make Blade Master shine. And I think he's right. Honestly, I don't have the gear for him. I can't ascend him. And even once ascended, I want to make sure there's a good HP burn champ with him. So that's why maybe I'm thinking it's time to go back to it being Sunwoo as the next 1 to 6-star. It could even be Diabolist or Apothecary. There's a good case to be made for them because when you get to 6-star, particularly on your speed champions, you can... Oh, get out of my way, Blarium. Stop flashing pop-ups at me. Jesus Christ. But basically, you can get banners with speed on the subset. Now, you're still going to need to get more potions. Just yet another one of the pains But if we look at the jewelry that we got, I don't have a banner for high elves now, so maybe that's not a priority. What about, I'm pretty sure I don't have any speed on the one for demons either. Yeah, we don't. It is accuracy. So that's a good main stat to be giving her. We'll be able to crank this up by quite a lot. It's going to be a plus 96 when we fully upgrade it. It goes all the way max 96. And we might even be able to ascend it at a certain point and maybe even get more accuracy into it. But really, we want to crank up the speed even more. So if we got a banner with some speed on it, that'd be awesome. So that's something to bear in mind, but maybe not that yet. So battle, clan boss. It has reset. We don't have any keys, but we could just collect what we got. Let's see what we got. This would be a fun way to kind of close off the video. Do I want to close off the video? We have been in for 56 minutes. So yeah, we'll probably just set up a farm after. So from the night chest, we get bruise. Ouch. Come on. Come on. We've got crappy boots. From easy, has there been any day that we even got a shard from this from the clan boss? I think this is why you want to push to brutal. I think it's at brutal where you really notice a grand, a fantastic, a steep increase in the drop rate, because we do get 3 pieces from this, whereas master, I guess, it's also 3 pieces. Guardian is 3 pieces. Knight is 2 pieces. Okay, and I think we're mostly getting knight sets. Yeah, even from here, it's the knight set, so it's the guardian. Basically, we want to hit the top chest of hard. So that's going to be a new goal, new milestone. I'm not even sure how to put that. Like clan boss, we'll say like CB. Does this show up even on the bottom of the screen? It sort of does. It's very small. I'm sorry, but like CB, we'll go like level 2 is top chest of hard. I think that's when it starts to ramp up, because you're getting 3 bonuses out of it instead of 2. So that is going to be our first milestone. Yeah. It might even be more important, because it's tempting to just 1 key easy and then 1 key normal and say, all right, I'm getting a chest from here, I'm getting a chest from here. But honestly, because you're constantly getting just 2 pieces, and the chances are your 2 pieces are going to be from bruise or from the potions or from the silver. But they're probably not going, or probably the gear. I think gear has a high chance of rolling too. But I mean, look at this. Best thing is like 5-star common. That sucks. So if you want a chance at the shard or the book, really you want to be getting 3 from a single chest. So it might actually make more sense to just go after the guardian chest now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This is the new goal. We're just going to go crazy after the guardian chest to get hard. I might try to motivate my whole clan to start going after the hard clan boss, but I'm going to have to check in with the others, because Mr. Burrito Slayer, Beanie Baby, a number of the others that are maybe only a week old, maybe hard is still out of reach. I think really hard comes within reach once you have a 6-star Kale or a 6-star starter anyway. Maybe you got lucky and you pulled somebody other than the starter who's worth 6-starring first. But really, it's probably Kale. So that's about all I got to say today. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves.